What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Extreme Jordan derangement syndrome. It's a real thing. And unfortunately, it's become an epidemic afflicting millions of Americans. The first signs of it are those who seem to be triggered by the mere mention of his name. Just talking about Michael Jordan in any positive manner will enrage these individuals to the point where they have to, they develop an extreme reaction or impulse to go on social media and to type slander about Michael Jordan and his fans. They are obsessed with him. And the way that they try to deflect from that is that they'll accuse everybody else of being obsessed with LeBron James, when in reality, everything in their waking being revolves around Jordan. I mean, look at the evidence. They're always talking about him. He stays on their mind. When LeBron Ramon James said that he was going to try to get his son Bronny, the first in the league, the first thing these guys said, well, Jordan couldn't do that. Nobody's talking about him. When people criticize LeBron James for making moves as far as going to other teams, as far as, chasing titles, first thing to do, you can't get back because Jordan didn't do it. Jordan should have chased. He didn't have to. He didn't have to. He stays on these people's minds. Morning, noon, and night. Look, so I saw this. Somebody sent this to me. And you could argue this is just somebody trolling, but you have to type this up. You have to think this up and then type this up and then press send. You have to actually be motivated to do this. And at some point, you're just disrespecting the legacy of Michael Jordan at this point. Okay? You're just disrespecting him by even merely suggesting that Rudy Gobert is a greater player. So they got this comparison with Rudy Gobert taking a similar shot as Michael Jordan, right? Side by side. Like already trying to say, oh, these guys, they're right there symbolizing somehow that they belong in the same category. So you look at the listings here: defensive rating, offensive rating, defensive player of the year awards, blocks titles, rebounding titles, field goal percentage leaders, points per game, scoring titles, rebounds per game, blocks per game, turnovers per game, and then it got bunched together like it's one singular category: rings, finals MVPs, MVP. That's three separate categories. So they got awards, I guess, as all in one category, but somehow rebounding titles and block titles are not, they're not bunched together. I don't want to go into detail and bore people, but there's reasons why oftentimes centers or anybody playing near the rim have advantages in defensive rating, right? Offensive rating is a lot has to do with the fact that the guy shoots 65% from the floor. His high conversion rate. I mean, he's 7'2". I mean, there's only really one guy in the NBA that can block his shot, and that's Wemby. When you're gobbling up rebounds and block shots, and you're 7'2", and you make almost 2 out of every 3 field goal attempts you attempt, you're going to have a high offensive rating and high defensive rating. Still doesn't mean he's a great offensive player. He's not. I mean, we have the eye test and we see it. He's not a great offensive player. Blocks title, Gobert. Rebounding titles, Gobert. Yeah, but he only has one each. One each. And Michael Jordan had a year, 87, 88, I think it was. It was that year. What was it, 86, 87? One of those years. He actually averaged more blocks per game than 18 out of the then 23 starting centers in the NBA. At the time was 23 teams in the league. Points per game scoring titles, Jordan, obviously. Rebounds per game, Rudy Gobert, the center, surprise, surprise, has the advantage in this category. Blocks per game, the center, surprise, surprise, Gobert has the advantage in this category. Turnovers per game, Gobert has the advantage. Of course, he never has the basketball. Of course, a guy who never gets the ball and only touches the basketball in situations where it's putbacks, you know what I'm saying, or he gets it, you know, he gets a pass from the center or not, so excuse me, get a pass from the point guard or whoever. He never has the ball frequently. So, of course, he doesn't have a high turnover rate. But I would argue even with that, he turns the ball over quite frequently. I think it's like 1.7 turnovers. He shouldn't be averaging that. He doesn't have the ball that much. And then they got, like I said, the one category altogether. But you know what's so funny about this? This guy is so deranged with Jordan derangement syndrome, so in his feelings, that he doesn't realize that LeBron James is deficient in every same category as Jordan is. You put Michael Jordan there, but if you put LeBron right there and you make the same comparisons, Gobert would have the same advantages, actually more so. So what are you saying here? So are you saying that Rudy Gobert is better than LeBron James too? Because if you put LeBron James compared to Rudy Gobert, same fall away shooting snapshot, right? And you had the same comparison with LeBron James, LeBron is in the same disadvantage. Why? Because he's an all stats cherry picked for Rudy Gobert. He's a center. You got all these stats that favor centers. I think the better comparison would be compare LeBron James to Michael Jordan with these categories. Because if you did that, defensive rating, offensive rating in Michael Jordan's favor, defensive player of the year awards in Michael Jordan's favor, block titles is a wash, rebound titles is a wash, field goal percentage leaders, LeBron, I'll give you that. Points per game scoring titles, Jordan, rebounds per game, LeBron, blocks per game, Jordan, 0.8, 0.7. Yep. Mr. Chase Down Blocks averages fewer blocks per game than Michael 190, 6'4.5" when he came to the league, Jordan. Turnovers per game, Jordan. Rings, finals MVPs, Jordan. Even with your cherry pick stats, which is made to favor a bigger, stronger guy, Jordan still beats LeBron. You clowns. You guys are all clowns. LeBron, he always loses. Oh, so refreshing. But anyway, just want to point this out, man. Jordan derangement syndrome is an epidemic.